Thank you for doing this interview. Could you state your name?
My pleasure.
Thank you. Could you state your name for the camera?
I am Linda O.S. Sawiris, or my native country is Jordan, East Bank. And I came to the United States in 1953 to study with my brother. Went to University of Wisconsin.
On the topic of education, today we're going to be talking about the Head Start program that you directed in Decatur, Illinois, in the community there.
Let me see the exact year. 68, the beginning 70 probably.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay.
Well, they advertised about it, and I applied. When I applied, I just finished my. I was a counselor in Stephen Decatur High School. At Decatur, Illinois. I just finished, and I have interview with the Community Action Program, the director of and I got the job.
So the first question I have is, what inspired you to take up the initiative?
Because I love education at any level, and I am drawn also to needy children.
Yes.
And I relate to them, and I just fit so nice. And also I believe in it go back, I think, to my culture too. Like if you educate, especially females, a mother, she can teach a nation.
I know that education is necessary for a strong community, and so I think,
yes, knowledge is power.
Yeah, and it sort of brings the people together, and I think at this time in African American history, it was a big push for education, wasn't there?
A big question, and I think there were stigmas too.
Really? Yeah.
That the country was, that the whites are smarter than the blacks, and this is really humiliation.
Yeah.
And then, but then, that's when I came in. Sometime I held, because the black never forget the slavery.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want the children to succeed, even when I went to the public schools. If you keep saying the fault is slavery, then how are you going to advance things in the past and look at your achievement, what you've done in this, between slavery and now? We then mentioned Martin Luther King, personalities and.
So I know that the community that you worked in was predominantly African American community.
Yes.
And so.
Yes, and that's. We went by the level of the income, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. And so in that community, were there any threats or backlash from, I suppose, white people in the community who held racist ideas against education in that community?
Well, I think it's the opposite, because we have a psychologist in the program.
You did? Okay.
I lived in a suburb like of Decatur, okay?
Okay.
And she came to visit me one time, and she's white, and I think the parent liaison was with her, the one I know, a friend. Said, how long are you going to do? And she was, the parent liaison is black.
Mm-hmm.
And she hollered at me, when the parent liaison, Mrs. So-and-so, will have a home like your home. I said, I don't know, but I am working, and I bought this house because I need to live, in a house.
Yeah. Wow.
And I drive. I came as an immigrant, and I did what I'm supposed to do. I never was on welfare. I never accepted, I just did and worked. Because when I left the United States in 1960, I went to live there. It was so ideal for me. You know, I didn't see the other United States yet. I thought all like university level and schools, and it wasn't. But then I started finding out little by little, you know, what United States all about, and about the two, that accent matters.
Yeah.
And then you have to prove yourself over and over again because you came from different country.
Yeah.
And you have to work extra hard, maybe, you know, and this put pressure.
So in a country that doesn't seem to value minorities, did you sort of find that you related more with the African American community with the similar background of being in minority?
Well, of course, I feel up to now very difficult the two minds, the white mind and the black mind, come together.
Yeah.
Because the African, very difficult. They want, like say you are in a classroom and you ask as a counselor and you ask what you want to be for career education, like introduction.
Yeah.
I want to be a mortician. I don't want to work. I want to be a truck driver. But this you don't have enough to have, you know, home, and you have to come to school and attendance, and get good grades and good attendance and all that. I say, well, my uncle is a trucker and he's doing it okay, so I'll do the same. Or my mother is on welfare, she gets a check, so I will do this, you know.
Yeah.
Like of course, the family is like a model to the child.
Yeah.
And thus you have to break this.
So how were the parents empowered to better the lives of their children in the Head Start program?
That's a very good question. That's parent involvement. I made observation that a mother who come to any program in school, any level, they do better. Like you are a teacher in a school, you remember the students, you see the parent, right? More. See, as a counselor in the city and you have like 500 students, how much you can do with 500. But if the parent come to the PTA and you meet the parents, then you remember the student more.
One of the roles in Head Start was a parent liaison.
Yes.
So what was that cooperation like between one of the parents and helping the parents get involved?
She visits the homes. And if she is her from the same neighborhood, she knows the uncle and the aunts and the grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
So she didn't trust that parent liaison.
Yeah.
And she knows the culture, and she has her educational background, know how to withdraw, you know, parents. And so, for example, I want parents then one time that they go to register in the libraries, they check books for their children. Because so much in the city, they can without have to pay money. Now that's important. If the mother is educated a little bit, she can educate.
Yeah.
But if the mother without education, what do you expect?
True, it's a vicious cycle.
It is a cycle, and then you have to break the cycle. And this is the problem in education in all big cities like Chicago, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and you know, that's we call urban, inner city urban education.
How did Head Start sort of break that cycle of a lack of education? How did it break the cycle of a lack of education?
Well, if you educate the child before they go to school, they have the basics. Then they come to school, and the child will grow up, become a father or a mother, and go scholarship, go to college, and you know, further education. So education is necessary to help yourself.
Do you think that your program had a significant impact on the community? To really...
Yeah, the Head Start?
Yeah.
It was the only program up to this year, only Head Start is still running.
Wow.
Because it is very successful, yes. Any child needs free education.
Well, this was such a rich conversation. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom.
Thank you. I'm glad you came.